off the bat, this isn't what we're looking for. This isn't the Project Highland that we are expecting to come, but this is a newer version of the vehicles, or supposedly new, that has been taken off the market and now has returned. You probably know what I'm talking about. This is the Model 3 long range version. Now, originally we thought that the Model 3 long range production has stopped because they needed that production line to work on the new Project Highland designs. Now, it's unclear if that was even the case. However, we did get a return of the Model 3 long range, and it gives us a really great hint of what's to come in the next month. This is only available in the United States right now, so anywhere else in the world, you're not going to get the long range option. Now, one thing to note, even though you live in the States, this is not going to qualify for the entire federal incentive just because of where the battery was produced. Now, comparing this to the performance model, you're going to get the full $7,000 tax credit, meaning that if you do opt for a performance model right now and after the tax credit, you're only going to have a difference of $2,000. So, unless you're the type that likes to keep things low key and want a sleeper model, you're probably going to opt for the performance model just because it has all the perks that you would want and then even some more. Now, by this point, if you don't already see the two glaring differences between the previous version of the long range versus this one here, you're probably wondering why it's even there in the lineup when the refresh version is coming out a few months later. So if we roll back in time just a little bit, we do have a vehicle that was on the market that was extremely popular. It was better than the standard range, but it was lower than the performance. The price was just right. You get practically every single feature from the performance model, like the premium sound system, ambient lighting, fog lights, and so on and so forth. But you don't have to pay as much as the performance, whereas the standard range, you lacked a lot of those features. So the long range was extremely popular and it was flying off the shelves to the point where Tesla had to pull it off the market. Now, a lot of us, like you and I, speculated that they were opening this up for the production of the redesigned Model 3s, and I think that's still truly the case because they did mention a while back that they were retooling the entire process of this line, meaning that something is happening in the background. There's no way that they would retool and reconfigure everything just for the same model to come out again. Anyways, let's get back to the vehicle that was just announced yesterday, and that is the long range Model 3, and this is very likely the LFP model because there are differences in the range as well as the battery chemistry. So let's be frank here, the long range model is no longer long range. It went from an EPA estimate of 358 miles now down to 325 with a plus. No idea why Tesla even added the plus there. Maybe they got some better testing in better days and worse testing in worse days. But in the end, this vehicle is inferior to the previous product of the long range trim just because Tesla is making it obvious that it is nowhere near what it used to be. Now, on top of that, they are even advertising that the charging speeds are slower than what it used to be. So it was 147 miles of range every 15-minute charging, but now the number has changed. So this really points to the fact that they're going over to the LFP pack. So what it could come down to is that there are two possible scenarios. One being that it is the same nickel battery pack, however it's reduced in size, or it switched over to the LFP pack, which has a lower density. I'm more leaning towards the latter just because things really point towards Tesla shipping batteries from China over to the States. One of the requirements for the federal incentives are that you need to build the battery inside of North America, and the other one being that a lot of the sourced materials to build the batteries need to also be in North America. So this vehicle here did qualify for half of the incentive, so that means that there is one of the two requirements that has not been met. The chances of this being the LFP battery pack shipped directly from China is extremely high just because of all the hints we've been seeing online. We're getting lower range, slower charging speeds, and the federal incentive has been sliced in half. Now, the only one thing that might make me think otherwise is the fact that the 0 to 60 stayed exactly the same as it did before. It did a 0 to 60 in 4.2 seconds, and now with the LFP pack supposedly still does 4.2 seconds. seconds. Now we know for a fact that the LFP pack is heavier, hence why the 5.3 seconds 0 to 60 in the standard range now has been increased to 5.8 seconds. But somehow, for some reason, the weight of the overall vehicle stayed exactly the same as well as the 0 to 60. So if you guys have any predictions to that, drop it in the comments below. Let me know what the deal with this is. How is it possible that the 0 to 60 stays the same as well as the overall weight, but everything else has been reduced? Anyways, on the plus side of things, we do get a $2,000 discount from when it was previously sold at until now. It is now going for $47,000 versus the $49,000 and some change prior. And on top of that, you do get the federal incentive, at least half of it. So essentially the car is under $40,000 combined, which is amazing. Now there is one thing that crosses all our minds, and I'll be talking about this in the next video, but this is the fact that when you order this long range right now, it will be available to take delivery in June. Now if you go on the website and you click any other trim level, you're gonna see that the delivery date is within this month. However, this newer long range version is available in June. Now this could be one of two things. It could be that they are prepping up for the Project Highland redesign, which all of us are enthusiastic about. We're waiting for that to be announced. The other one being that they're literally just going to be keeping the same design and everything, and they're selling it as is. One thing to really consider is that if you order your vehicle right now, is there a chance that you might get the Highland design? And my personal take is that there is a really big chance that you might. However, the possibility is quite low because what is shown on the website cannot be false. If you see the Model 3 right now and imagine you get a totally different car down the line when you're ready to pick it up, that might be a big win for some people, but there are people who actually love this design so much, and getting another vehicle when it's time to pick up is completely false. But honestly, if it were me and I paid the price of this vehicle now, but somehow ending up getting the Project Highland vehicle, that would be like hitting the jackpot. So anyways guys, it could really depend on what you're after, but this is a really good indication that we will be seeing a redesign at least in June. That is gonna be the earliest date that we will get any glimpse of it directly from Tesla. But one good thing is that right now you can head over to the Tesla website and order the long range and see what happens, and at most you'll be losing out $250 deposit. So anyways, this should wrap this up. If you guys enjoyed this video and you guys want further updates on anything Tesla, please hit that subscribe button and that bell notification, as anything comes up that is important, I will be updating you guys as soon as I can. This should wrap it up. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Once again, peace out.